Good morning. This video is in regards to this circuit board that came out of one of my air conditioning units. My house has two AC units. It has a heat pump for the upstairs and a heat pump for the downstairs, which is really nice because in the summertime the upstairs would get a lot warmer than the downstairs. Anyways, a couple weeks ago the AC stopped working, and I noticed that the thermostat was hot in one corner, and I thought this was really weird, and I called in someone to come out and look at it, and they replaced the thermostat, which was fine because I didn't like the one that was on there anyways. I wanted a programmable one, and it worked okay. And then like about a week later the AC went out again, not working, no power to the thermostat. And so I called them out again. They came out and they found that this board had been bypassed. Who knows when? And this is what this is it's the defrost board. Basically, when the unit is in heat mode, it has to be defrosted every so often. You can set it to 30, 60, or 90 minutes, depending on how cold and how humid it is where you live. And here where I live, it's not that big of a deal. I haven't had a heat pump, but apparently this thing was jumpered for who knows how long. Anyways, somehow this relay had become blown. I don't know if when it blew it broke like this, or if this happened at a later date, or if it was done so that they could jumper it. I didn't see what it looked like when it was jumpered. If you look carefully, you can see there's a scorch mark here, and the coil is dead. It ohms is open. The other things I found were that this capacitor and this capacitor, their tops are split. There was a transistor, and you notice it's missing a leg, and it was here, and when I desoldered it, the leg just fell off, and there were scorch marks here. There were scorch marks here. This diode was bad. It's a 1N4148. These caps are all Elna, and they're supposedly pretty crappy, so I'm going to replace them all. I don't know if the failure of this board was caused by them, or they failed as a result of the failure of the board, or how the board failed exactly in the first place. But my testing showed one bad diode, one bad transistor, the relay, definitely two capacitors. I replaced this capacitor because it's attached to the leg of this, and I don't know, it tested okay in circuit and out, but since I already had another one, I figured I would replace it also. All the other diodes, I lifted a leg just to make sure. They all tested good. All the resistors tested good. All the capacitors seem to be good. This relay works. I looked up these two printed circuits. It's very difficult to read them. I'll put the part numbers or the numbers underneath each one on the screen. I have parts on order because a lot of these components are oddball voltages that I don't have. Some of them are 63 volts, some are 100 volts. I have higher voltages than those, but the caps are enormous and or I don't want to use them. So I've got caps on order. I've got these two printed circuits on, or ICs on order, even if they're good. They were so cheap, I just ordered them anyways. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, and I've got the relay on order. The board has already been replaced. I won't go into how exorbitantly overpriced I was charged. I did find out after the fact that this board is like $150, which is ridiculous considering that there's probably $50 in parts on it. In fact, I could replace every part on this board no problem, and it would still be less than buying the board. I'll have a second part to this video when I get all the parts in, and I may or may not try to test it. We'll see if I can even rig that up. So, that's it. Later.